have to look at what the weather people are predicting. They know best than anybody, and even then they can't look too far down the road to see where we might be with rainfall, because eventually, that significant amount of rainfall will increase flow into the creeks, and the creeks help recharge the aquifer. At least the bulk of the water comes from recharge along the creeks. So we're looking at the weather people are saying right now, they're saying we might get an inch or two in the next few days, maybe next week a little bit of rain, but ultimately that's not going to help much. We really need major rains to get us out of drought. If the ground's so dry, so hot, most of that water is just going to evaporate, and we're unlikely to get any significant runoff and ultimately very little to no recharge. So we're figuring, well, we're probably going to continue with this pattern for some time. We're looking at perhaps by mid-September to late September, we'll cross over with our Love Lady well and Barton Springs flow into our next stage of drought. We're going from alarm to critical stage of drought. So without a little more optimism, I'll just say we'll probably continue in this pattern with drought for some time. So we're looking at the patterns of La Nina, which we're in now, which means more dry conditions, and a change, as the weather climate people are saying, for perhaps later this fall or next winter. If we get into El Nino, that could bring more rain, but somewhere in there we have this transition pattern from La Nina to El Nino, and that could go on for some time. So that's not really certain of continuing dry conditions, or not certain of bringing about wet conditions. So all we can do is just plan to deal with drought for some time to come. So we have to keep monitoring all of our drought indicators, and our regulatory program has to keep reminding our permittees of the drought status so they can continue with their reductions in use of the aquifer.